market cap, the float. Is there news? What is the pattern? Is it a short or is it a long setup? The duration of the trade. Is this also a morning trade or afternoon trade? What type of news? Did I even like this trade? Every single trader tracks their trade through journaling. You read some books, I know one of them was a Daily Trading Coach.
That's right, yeah.
Was that one of the pillars that helped you get back into control of your emotions?
It was, and the biggest takeaway I had from that book was my loss journal and tracking the mistakes. It wasn't, oh, let's look at every single loss I take and say, how could I have avoided this loss? It's, let's look at every loss I took that was unnecessary, where I made some kind of key mistake. I played it too large from the start. I didn't cut a loser. I added outside of my plan, things like that. It was that accountability of tracking that, like, giving myself a mark every single month, every time I did it, and then seeing what the grand total of mistakes was at the end of the month. Like that accountability really helped me because I could see just how bad my discipline had gotten and how I wasn't following my systems that I had, worked so hard on.
What is a good way to think when they're starting to track? Like when they want to create their own Excel, what should they be thinking about on what to track? Is there any ideas around that?
Yeah, well, it depends on the play. I mean, if you're looking at gap up shorts, you want to track how much it gapped up. It's open, it's high, it's low, it's closed, market cap, float, volume, even time of day stuff, time of low, time of high.
There's type 1 errors and type 2 errors.
Okay.
Type 1s are the false positives. So like you think you have a signal and then it doesn't work, right? Sometimes it's just a bad beat. Sometimes you're being an idiot, right? So cut out the idiot times. And then you have the type 2 errors. And I think that this is the thing I'm focused on the most right now. And those are the false negatives, where it's like I see a setup and I don't take it.
Okay.
Either because I screwed up on a previous trade just recently, or I'm not comfortable enough in the trade that I want to take. And then those, of course, Murphy's Law, it's like those are the ones that move.
Right?
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, I want to define my trade setups well enough to the point that when I see them, I don't think about taking them.
We're tracking and tagging the trades that we're making.
Yes.
And we're reviewing that on a daily and a monthly basis. We just had a monthly review session at 8 o'clock in the morning with one of our better teams. And they were buying stocks that they thought were bounce trades.
Gotcha.
And they were losing money. And they were just making trades that were not bounce trades. Bounce trade is there are variables that you can identify as to a signal in a stock that it will go back up. It's a signal that you can see. You can see it. There's another mural on here on the floor that says, if you see it, swing the bat hard. The mural doesn't say, if you don't see it and you just decided that something should go back up, swing the bat hard. That's not a trade.
Yes.
That's just something you got to eliminate. So, we talked through the month with these guys, and we said, that's why you underperformed. That's why you didn't do as well as you could, because you thought you were taking bounce trades, but you weren't. You were just taking made up, I think the stock should go back up trade.
Journaling. David, how do you journal?
Man, journaling has been a big part of my trading since the beginning, man. So I got like several, I journal, actually, I used to do a lot of vlogging and journaling combined, because like the way I see it is like, the more you go in depth with every trade, like what are you doing that most traders are not doing? What are you doing to improve 1%? Or in fact, journaling in the beginning, you can improve like 5-10% a day if you really dive into all your trades. So what am I journaling? I'm journaling my mindset into the trade, the psychology, how I was feeling. And then I try to dig in why I was feeling a certain way, what I need to work on, and if why I was feeling, for example, if you're feeling antsy because of you got bills due or something, or like you got to be honest with yourself. This journal is like for you, and it's like a diary. And like, why are you feeling that way? What do you need to improve on your life to solve that? And so that so you come into trading or coming into that setup, which you knew the stats, you knew the data, you knew everything ahead of time. You knew the odds were in your favor, but you botched it. Why did you botch it? Why did you oversize? Why did you undersize? Why did you cut the trade off too soon? Why were you were you insecure? You know, were you you know, are you worried about your bills coming up? Or, you know, is that credit card payment in the back of your head? You know, so did your ex-girlfriend call you a loser or something, you know? And you want to
Right.
prove her wrong, you know? So, you know, I'm just using that example, I'm just messing around. But like, you know, a lot of those things, I know, like for me personally, like my family didn't want me to leave my career in architecture. So like everything I did was almost wrong. So like I was trying to early on trying to force things to prove wrong. So like journaling really helped me dive into that and solve that problem, be like, you know, really slow things down and think about it, and then think about what is going to push your trading forward. So journaling was just really deep for me as far as that, not only about like the technical aspects of the trade.
Right.
I will go over that for sure, but a lot of it, the real part that like I take a lot of value from, even three years in the game, it's that deep dive into your psyche. You know, it's like you and the journal, and like nobody else sees it. And like, I don't know, I use Trader Sync now, I use Kinfo, the journals. uh Even when I journal now, I up to recently I've been doing it as an Instagram live, like
Yeah.
late at night, you know, only like 2 3 people go into Instagram live, but it
Yeah.
holds me accountable